Worship only the true God. Growing up, I'd always been a planner. My life was a series of meticulously drawn maps, each turn, each stop, carefully considered. I prided myself on my foresight and my ability to navigate the complexities of life. When I first encountered the message from Jeremiah, my initial reaction was to see it as a critique of others, the heathen, the foolish ones who followed empty customs and bowed to lifeless idols. I'd never built an idol of wood and gold, so what did this have to do with me? I was on my own path, a path I had forged with my own hands. My maps were my security, and my confidence in them was my faith. The words, "the way of man is not in himself," hit me like a physical blow. It wasn't just a statement, it was a mirror. Suddenly, I saw my carefully constructed life for what it was, a collection of idols. My career, my financial security, my social standing. These weren't just goals, they were the very things I trusted to direct my steps. I had dressed them up with hard work and ambition, but they were as lifeless as the wood and gold idols Jeremiah described. They couldn't speak, they couldn't move on their own, and worst of all, they couldn't save me from the storms of life. Just like the prophet's warning about the idols that must be born, my own idols required constant effort and energy to maintain, yet they offered no real help in return. I realized with a jolt that my self-reliance wasn't a strength, it was a subtle form of idolatry. My belief in my own ability to chart my course was displacing God's sovereignty. The grace I received by faith was a complete surrender of my own map. It was the humbling realization that my meticulous plans were as fragile as a house of cards. This grace was a spiritual admission of helplessness, a confession that my own wisdom was foolishness and my own strength was weakness. I saw that true freedom wasn't about successfully directing my own steps, but about trusting the one who had established the world by his wisdom. It was a quiet, internal moment, but it felt like the entire foundation of my life shifted. I didn't get an immediate roadmap for the future. Instead, I got a profound sense of peace. The anxiety of having to get every decision right, of having to navigate every challenge alone lifted. My prayer became simple and sincere, an echo of Jeremiah's own plea. "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself." My carefully planned out life was no longer my own. By faith, I received the grace to trust that the living, everlasting God, the creator of all things, would guide me. The burden of being my own God was replaced with the joy of being a child of the true God. And in that exchange, I found a faith that was not in my own ability, but in his perfect, all-knowing guidance.